I'm not sure how I want to answer this question. I think that all of the things that we see in the world that we're not happy about, the actions that we see, the attitudes that we see, so the aggression, the judgment, the fear, the anger, the lack, the poverty, everything that we see in the world that we don't like, we actually, if we look closely, can see elements of all of those things in ourselves. So there's no one in this room who has not experienced anger. There's no one in this room who hasn't wanted revenge. Even if it's in a minor way, there's no one in this room who hasn't experienced fear. And so to really take it back to each individual moment, in Buddhism, each individual moment of our conscious experience is very powerful. And so it really does start with us looking at ourselves and being really honest and sincere about what our internal experience is. And so when we recognize those moments of anger, then what's our choice in terms of how we're reacting to that? And when we're experiencing moments of judgment, what's our choice in how we're reacting to that? It's not that we have control over those things and we can say, I'm never going to be angry. We can't make anger go away. It's about our relationship to it. So I think that everybody in here is part of the larger whole. And so in order to change the world, it really does come down to those moment-to-moment choices that we're making about our participation in the world.
So when I was thinking about this question, I am still actually confused on what the right answer is. So I don't think there's a right answer. One thing that I want to thank the gentleman in the audience for saying about Sikhism that I didn't mention, and so it's so great to have somebody else here to back you up, is that Sikhs are out here to protect the injustices, and was created when the religion was formed. It was because there were so many injustices going on around different religions at the time. And so, similar to Islam, there was something about fighting when you need to fight when there is an injustice, and wanting to solve things with peace, obviously, but also not being afraid and wanting to back down. There's something that we do in our religion, it's called the Svan, and that's where we take 10% of our paycheck and we donate it to a cause, or any cause that's needed. Now the disclaimer that I have is, I am me, Jasdeep, the person in front of you. Not all Sikh people will be like me, unfortunately. I'm not saying that I'm wonderful, but you know what I'm saying. Like, not every single person may have the same belief, or not every single person may be practicing it in the same way. This is the way that I have been brought up, and this is the way that I have been taught with and based on the scriptures, of the way that I follow it. Just like with any other religion, I think that there's many different ways that people do practice. But the Svan is one thing that I'm fortunate to say I've learned in my family, and so we take money and send it to whoever needs it. And how we decide that is based on some of those core principles of, people who are hungry. Food is a big thing in our religion. We really, really believe in serving people who, we don't believe anybody should ever go hungry. That's why we have the langar in our gurdwaras everywhere. It's constantly there, and it's free food. And I don't know if any of you have been up to Berkeley. There's been a parade every year for the last 3 years in Berkeley, and they serve food the entire day to as many people that are out there. And you can imagine how many homeless people come out and just eat, and how many regular people just come out, and eat, because it's such a beautiful concept. And I hope that it continues to be that way. I think that one thing that in my religion, my faith, that has been a struggle here in this country is there's a language barrier. And I think that with my parents' generation or my grandparents' generation, speaking Punjabi and not being able to communicate necessarily in English has definitely been something that has stopped from helping people in California or people in this area, like I said. But I'm happy to say that my generation, I'm just amazed at what people are doing. In Toronto, they've opened up a homeless food shelter that's run completely by Sikhs, which is we never thought of it. Our parents would never have done that here. And they've done that there. United Sikhs is an organization that has went to Haiti. And I didn't even know they were going until I saw it on the news. And I was like, wow, finally somebody is doing something for humanity in our religion, that instead of just keeping it within our own local community. And it is those things that I'm very hopeful about as I see teach young children that this is what it means to take your actual principles and apply them to your everyday life. And just like everyone else on this panel, I think that when we stick to our core values of that love and compassion and honesty and keeping the dialogue open about these interfaith forums, I honestly think that we can succeed in this life and continue on our journeys and live together. I know it sounds a little bit maybe cliche, but ideally we can live in this harmonious, and you be you and me be me, and we're both humans, and we love what we do, we love who we are, and that's just part of our goal in life. And my final thing, everyone in this, I truly believe, and I said this to Megan, and I'm feeling it again, which is why I'm sharing it with you. I believe that God puts people in places at different moments in your life for specific reasons. So the fact that people are in this room tonight, that you're at an interfaith forum, or that we're sitting on a panel is for a reason. And I just want to thank God, or whatever it may be for you, whatever creation, whether that be God or nature or whatever it may feel to you. Just wanted to thank God at this moment for giving us this opportunity, because that in itself is a true blessing.
Thank you very much, all of you participants on our panel. Wonderful evening, and I think a big round of applause would be. I know I've grown in understanding, and I really appreciate your sharing. It's been wonderful, and maybe we can do this again sometime. I know there are, we have 5 different faiths represented here. There are many more that could make up another panel, so maybe our Interfaith Council will do this again sometime in the near future. So thank all of you for being here today.
Thanks, Mark.